Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Crossover. Starring Josh Johnson and Chris McGill. Featuring Christina Thorson. And of course, you, the Instagram live chat. Now, sit back and enjoy this week's edition of The Crossover. Powered by Card Ladder.
What's up, Josh?
What are you saying? What are you talking about?
You're a little bit... Oh, no, sorry, that's me. Can you say something again?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. I was about to subject the chat to something brutal, so you saved.
Oh, good. You're welcome.
Yep. Josh has stepped in. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to The Crossover. Today's Friday, March 28th, 2025. Start off with any card letter announcements.
Nope.
None. Mail days. I do know that there's a mail day.
I got a couple mail days. Remember last week I was slacking.
Yeah, and I know yours are deserving of being the main act, and mine will just be the opening act. How about that?
Fair.
I have just one. I have two, but I only have one. The other one's like in the other room, and I'll save it for next week. This is the one I have for this week. This is the 2023-24 Panini Black base set 1 of 1.
Oh,
I think it's a platinum. It's a 1 of 1 of 1 of Jokic. I just saw it on eBay. I thought it looked cool. And now I have it.
A 1 of 1 of 1 means it's the only 1 of 1 from the whole product or the whole set?
Of the base set. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
It's in the other room. That's the barrier for many humans.
It is.
It's a great excuse. All right. I have already shown these on the live, so I'll go quick. We shall go quick. 2023 Prism Black Finite. I feel like I should just focus on the Black Finites at this point. Why even bother with anything else? It seems to be working pretty well.
Yeah.
2021, but I'm going to run out. Prism Black Finite, Antonio Brown. Super Bowl year. And the big one from Brian, Prison Mike, 2014. Panini Prism Black Finite, Devontae Adams. Can you see how it's like a more of a dark gray as opposed to like a black? Can you see that?
A charcoal, if you will.
Yes. That's the color I would describe it as. It is more of like a charcoal gray than... You can see the contrast here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it makes for a more dynamic color on the rainbow. It's very slick.
Yeah, that looks great. 2014.
I also have the Aaron Donald from this year. And some of the rookies have like 6 of these, but Devontae Adams and Aaron Donald only have the 1, so that's good. Like Mike Evans, I think, has 6 of these. Mike Evans, Johnny Manziel. I forget who else is in that rookie class.
6 is crazy.
It's either 5 or 6. I think it's 6.
5 is crazy too.
Yeah, and they're like just, ball in right hand, ball in left hand, like that.
And then I guess here's the double-edged sword of that. Getting all 5 would be pretty awesome, but the possibility of getting all 5 just feels impossible.
Yeah. One of them is the parallel to the base set, like the image. So I think that might be the true 1 of 1, but it would be a bit of an uphill battle to explain that to people.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's get to some questions. First up from A&W Collectibles. Is the LeBron versus Stephen A beef good or bad for the NBA product as a whole?
Well, Stephen A seems to think it's good. He keeps bringing it up. How many times is he going to bring it up?
I think he's got at least 3 more months in him.
He said something like, I would have swung on him or something. Is that what I heard?
That was one of the latest iterations of it, yeah. I mean, I go out of my way to not have to consume content like this, but the Twitter or the Instagram algorithms or some group chat event inevitably brings it up.
You notice that LeBron hasn't said anything about it. He just is letting this guy swing into the air.
Yeah. When you're in LeBron's position, that's really all you can do. I mean, you just have to sort of step back and be the punching bag for these self-promoting narcissists who talk on TV for a living.
Is this bad for the hobby? Was that the question?
For the NBA product.
Oh, I mean, it kind of is the crux of the problem for the NBA product, the media, the marketing. So yes.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. It's the crux of the problem.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take this a step further. I don't think anybody even wants this content. I think people will engage with it if it's what's put in their face. And there is some dramatic element to it that sort of makes it relatable to everybody. But I think I am firmly of the belief that if these talking heads on TV stopped using sports as a vehicle to enrich and promote themselves and started taking the responsibility of being on TV as the opportunity to uplift the sport and to enhance the audience's ability to engage with the sport by enriching the way that they present it, the way that they tell stories about it, the way that they cover it, then people would much prefer that content if that's what was put in front of them instead. And then I'll give you proof. I'll give you my proof. So the Thinking Basketball channel, you're familiar with that, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's Ben Taylor, and he has his own little YouTube channel. And over his last 9 videos, these videos average around 450,000 YouTube views per video. This guy has no marketing budget. He has no platform in terms of like a corporate backing. This guy is literally just, I think, a former cognitive scientist who really likes basketball and makes videos that break down different dimensions of the game. And he's uplifting but critical. He just strikes the perfect chord, and he's just a one-man show as far as I can tell. Doing it himself. Okay.
Look at this clown. He's such a clown.
It's just great.
Okay. He thinks being president is saying words.
Do you have this guy who's just cranking out 500,000 views just because people want the content that badly? Okay, compare that to First Take, which is ESPN's flagship show. The Nielsen ratings for that show indicate an average audience of between 500,000 and 600,000 viewers per day. And then the other NBA content they put out is NBA Today, which gets about 300,000 average viewers. If they had to move their product to YouTube and they had no ESPN backing, no promotion, no corporate sponsorship, no platform, it's just them. Stephen A. is just a guy in his room putting out videos. There's no chance those are going to get 500,000. He is enhanced and uplifted by the platform. But if you put the shoe on the other foot, and if you put Ben Taylor and give him a built-in cable TV audience of ESPN, he would do millions every single time he put something out. Millions. The appetite is there for the content, and it's a really simple test. Is the content creator trying to help you enjoy the sport more, or is the content creator using you in the sport to enrich and promote themselves? It's a simple dichotomy. And I think you just said it perfectly when you said that this Stephen A. thing it perfectly encapsulates what's wrong with the NBA product.
You don't think that him interviewing Ben Shapiro is good for the NBA?
If he has time to do that, he has time to figure out how he has time to learn a little more about the sports that he covers and do a little bit more effort to not just drama bait. Look, if I wanted to watch a drama, I'm not going to NBA and the personalities that talk about it. If I want to watch a good drama, I'll go to the best filmmakers or the best people who make the best TV shows, or I'll read a good book or something. I'll go to people who actually possibly could say something insightful about the human condition through drama. If I want comedy, I'll put on a Dave Chappelle special. I go to these guys because I want to watch sports. And I want them to help enrich the sports experience. I don't want the drama or the reality show dimension or the feuding. It's beyond irritating.
I love how, what's the commissioner's name? Doofus?
Silver.
He's like, gosh, you guys, I can't believe the All-Star game idea didn't work. What the heck? And he's like pushing Stephen A and all this terrible marketing, all these terrible shows, and he's then confused why his All-Star game doesn't work.
Yeah. So let me address one more point, and then I'll move on, and I'll get off my soapbox. College Uni Card says that anger and conflict drives ratings, etc. I don't enjoy it, but the casual love it. See, I hear you, and I know where you're coming from on that, and I get how a reasonable person could conclude that, but I completely disagree with that. And I think if you look at the volume of viewership that these small YouTube channels get with no platform, with no promotion, with no sponsorships, with no backing, no marketing budgets, and if you gave them the platform of TNT, ESPN, and Fox Sports 1, they would dwarf the numbers. They would make First Takes 500,000 viewers, look minuscule by comparison. There's a huge appetite for this type of content. The NFL does a better job of providing this type of content on its mainstream platforms. All right. You want to say anything else on that, Josh?
I can't talk about Stephen A anymore. I'm bored.
Thank you. That's more than I wanted to as well, but the question, it was a good warm-up question. Okay. From Perimeter Collectibles, how do you react when you see people who generally transact in ultra-modern cards start buying 90s grails?
Who generally transact in ultra-modern? Are they like a dealer or involved in the hobby as a collector or a dealer?
Yeah, it's a good question, but it's not specified, but it's a good distinction to make.
So the question asker maybe is thinking they're jumping into the hype of the 90s or something?
I don't know. I don't know what the angle of the question is.
I don't either. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Like you said, it's all about who it is and what they're doing. I mean, I don't care either way. If they move from one area to the other, then they do, and then I have to adjust accordingly. I'll tell you, I've seen more dealers involved in like Michael Jordan cards, especially like the rubies and the credentials, and more dealers and investor types involved in those than I've ever seen before, which is fine. But God, I was priced out a long time ago, but now it's to a point where I don't even look at Michael Jordan cards anymore because the pricing is it's insane. And some of the people who are sitting on some that I would pursue if I were going after Michael Jordan cards, they're dealers and investors and flippers who are going to want their premium. And I'm good. Fortunately, I got a few MJ cards 6 or 7 years ago.
Our current zag is that we need this hobby to get smaller.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We need to start unmarketing. How do we do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I stopped minding so much that, some of the hobby content that gets mainstream attention is so off-putting. I actually sort of encourage that now. It really doesn't bother me anymore at all.
Keep losing money, everybody.
Right.
There's people that I know have cards that I want, and I see them posting like gambling content, and I'm like, please lose so that you can sell me your cards.
All right. From JD9 Cards, have you ever sold a card and then later regretted that decision, so then you bought the card back later? If so, why did you sell it, and what made you have enough seller's remorse to purchase the card again?
I have done that, even with the same copy, and then I've since sold it again, so apparently I didn't regret it that much.
So you would potentially be on your third acquisition of this identical card if you were to go for it again.
I think I finally give up. Hasn't stuck.
So why did you sell, and what made you have enough seller's remorse to purchase it again?
Because there was 50 copies, and I felt like I'll just get it back later. I was moving on to something else, and I did get it back, and then same idea. The 90s stuff is rare, and it felt more rare when we first started doing it, but lately it hasn't felt as rare to me.
Yeah, that connects back to that first question, or the previous question, because when dealers and investors and flippers come into 90s, I think it's not just Michael Jordan cards, it's 90s.
Right.
It suddenly becomes really visible because a lot of them have a vested interest in making sure you know that they have these cards and you see these cards, and
Right.
because the 90s cards are rare, even on par with like gold prisms and one of ones, if you contextualize it and say, Curry has maybe around 120 or 140 gold prisms, and that's about on par with like how many PMGs a 90s player would have, for example.
Yeah.
So there are ways to compare these things on an apples to apples level, but it's not so much that the rarity; it's also just that it's the perceived rarity of just story sales and posts and stuff.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen a lot of those credentials selling lately.
Yeah. From Pac Nicholson, have you ever done a revenge buy? A revenge buy occurs. By the way, Pac Nicholson is back with
the
with
terms.
the slogan. A revenge buy generally occurs when you miss out on an auction, and then in a fury, you decide to use those funds to buy something else because you are a sicko. For example, you were prepared to spend $1,000 on a card, and then you lost the auction. So you go out and you overpay for a different card with that $1,000 instead.
I can't think of anything specific, but yeah, that happens all the time. I can, or at least I have the urge to do it a lot.
Yeah, I felt the urge. Definitely felt the urge. Fighting that urge is key.
Right.
Fighting that urge.
You should never settle. Never settle.
Yeah, Perimeter Collectibles replied to this on the question post that I made, and he said that like the true revenge buy would be going out and buying a PC card for the person that outbid you.
Well, it's probably someone that doesn't have any idea what the concept of a PC card is. It's more like a card they would want to flip.
Right.
It's not a revenge buy, it's a settle buy. You're settling.
Yeah, I guess there's a difference there. The settle buy, the consolation prize buy. I had somebody reply to the story after I posted it, and they said 60% of my PC is basically these revenge buys.
Nice.
I mean, you can see that happening, right?
Yeah.
If somebody's whole collection is like consolation prize buys.
No thanks.
No.
There's been 22 credential sales over $10,000 since January 1st.
That's not 3 full months.
There was 4 on one day on March 20th.
Wow.
It's like the Pippen, the Rodman, the Kobe now is all sold in the last couple months. And then Iverson. Crazy.
All right, let's move on here to Iowa Dave Sports Cards, who says, have you ever bought a card solely because you like how it looks? For example, I'm not a hockey collector, but overall I think modern hockey cards are the most attractive cards of any sport. And sometimes I'll find myself scrolling eBay just looking at hockey cards because I think they look fantastic. Have you ever bought a card purely for aesthetic reasons?
Yeah, I really liked Status for a long time. Aesthetics, those are sweet.
But you still stuck to like a PC player. Is that right? And they were still rare. Like the Status die cuts were still super rare.
They're not super rare. I got like 6 of them in like a couple weeks. They're kind of like Galactics. They're rare, but like not really that rare.
Okay. So then what about this sort of idea where Iowa Davis taking that concept like a step further, and it's like it's not a PC player, it's not based on rarity, it's not based on anything except just, oh, that looks so nice, I'll take it.
Yeah. I would apply that to like buying random superfractors or something. Just random cards. Cheap players that the cards look cool. I could see that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I've learned the lesson from 90s cards, collecting those for a while now, that there are some really, really nice looking 90s cards that just have tens of thousands of copies. Right. And in that situation, I have to be cognizant. I mean, I would love to pick one up for $5. Great. But the availability of them, it's always going to factor into my decision making in terms of like, if there's a wide variety of these available, I'm not going to go crazy just because I like what it looks like. I'll pick up one for what I think is a fair price. But I guess my other approach to this question, and I wonder if you think about it this way too. My other approach to this question is that aesthetics are not enough.
No.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. Maybe it was a few years ago, but now it's not enough. I could just look, if it's just aesthetics, I could just look at them online.
Yeah. Aesthetics are not enough. We need rarity. Ideally, brand legacy, historical significance to the hobby, player, and so
I feel like everybody likes the look of this one when they first get in the hobby.
Oh yeah,
the MJ Scoring Kings is always like the first thing I hear when they're like, "What should I buy for MJ?" It's the nicest looking one, nostalgia. But then you realize there's like 10,000 of them.
Yeah, those fell, not the set, but that card fell 1 in every 9 boxes.
How many players are in the
9.
set? So 1 per box.
Yeah,
it's pretty rare. But they made 100,000 boxes.
Yeah. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of those Jordans out there. I love that card. I've owned probably like 3 or 4 different copies over the years. But when it comes time to have to sell some cards to fund another one, it's always the first one, or one of the first ones on the chopping block.
How long did it take you to come to the realization this card was never going to be rare enough? You should just give up.
Not that long.
Have you owned a Fleer rookie?
Yep. I've owned a few. But
that's just like
years ago.
If you could talk to that version of Chris, you'd be like, my God, dude, just stop.
Well, it's so funny because that was my grail of all grails.
You have to
at one point
go through that. You can't just like tell someone to skip that phase.
Do you think that's right? Do you think like this arc it's a learning curve for everybody?
This is like a nature versus nurture, free will kind of debate right now.
Yeah.
I do feel you have to go through it to a certain extent. It's like you can't just like make your kids good people. You have to like let them fail and you know, you have to let them go through it on their own. Otherwise they'll never have the proper appreciation.
It's a good analogy. Cage says he pulled 11 of them as a kid. Yeah. They're just that Scoring Kings and Power on the Key, not that rare.
Is the PSA 10 rare though? Let's see.
I think maybe the pop is like 100, 200, somewhere in that range.
The gem rate is 4%. Yeah, the PSA 10 is under 100, so it's actually, I'm assuming it's like the corners, you know, it's a dark card. It's probably pretty hard to grade.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a tough card to grade.
So a PSA 10 is worth, oh my.
50,
any guesses?
Like 15 grand?
Yeah, 18.
Yeah. There's one for auction right now that's graded authentic, but it's got an in-person autograph. So like that's the other route to adding rarity to the card is getting it signed.
What color is the Sharpie?
I think it's like a dark Sharpie. I don't know. Yeah.
I think those look pretty slick with the silver Sharpie.
Yeah. All right. From Cajun Cardboard, what are your thoughts on the Grizzlies firing their coach 2 weeks before the playoffs as the 5 seed?
Dude, that was crazy. That's shocking, right? I thought they liked him.
I thought he was amazing.
He was coaching well with Morant in and out. He's gone through all these seasons with Morant out, and he's been solid with player development. All their young players are good. I don't understand this at all. I was just thinking the other day how good of a coach he's been.
Yeah. Yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr. has missed significant time this year, too. And even the team, I think, put out a statement, or somebody from the team put out a statement, something along the lines of, we really appreciate everything you did for our city and how great you are at player development and the terrific job you did coaching.
But
why are you firing him?
Why not just wait till the end of the season?
Well, yeah, it's really bizarre that they did.
You think something happened with him and a player or something? Some drama?
Wouldn't rule it out.
Why would you fire a guy mid-season? What are you going to do? Replace him with some assistant and it'll get better? How would it get better?
I believe his top 2 assistants, or 2 of his primary assistants, were fired along with him today.
I don't get it.
Does it harm him further if they fire him now rather than in the off season or something? Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like he's going to get scooped up by another team pretty easily.
Yeah. Big time. All right. From Coastal Collection 90. Oh, by the way, though, I don't mind that the Grizzlies just lost their rock star coach going into the playoffs, where if they started today, it would be a 4-5 Lakers.
Oh, I need to hold these seeds right where they are somehow. Just don't move, everybody. Stop winning and losing.
Yep, I love these seeds. Imagine getting out of that Grizzlies series in 5 games or something. That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, from Coastal Collection 90, what are your thoughts on new iterations of famous parallels in a sport that they did not initially belong to? As a hockey collector, I'm thinking about the credentials, the PMGs, the Flair legacies, etc.
A reboot, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not as big as a fan as you might think. I wouldn't be as excited as you might want to be excited.
This question vexed me as well.
It's I would force myself to be excited about it, but it's not the same.
Yeah. This question made me think, wait, I could wave a magic wand and block PMGs from ever having showed up in football and baseball? And hockey, too? I would wave that wand, probably.
Yeah.
But, the upside to it, from a hobby perspective, is it makes it easier for collectors of basketball to move over to baseball or football or hockey if they have the continuity of sets in common.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's cool about the Black Finite in Prism football. It's not in anything else. Well, maybe their unlicensed baseball had a finite, but it's certainly not in basketball.
So they have you think Fanatics is going to try some of this with football and basketball, and when they have the licenses together?
Try what exactly?
Just bring together other ones from the past and keep them similar across the 2 sports.
Yeah. Don't you?
Yeah.
I think that's almost a guarantee. And they're probably aware that it's very hard to build new products, so they're going to try and lean heavily on the legacy products to make their products popular right out the gate.
I think people are going to be pining over the loss of Panini very quickly. I should have never said anything bad about those guys.
It's the most predictable thing in this hobby.
It's going to be so predictable, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it happened to me. I was when I was all about the 90s, I just didn't even second guess trashing Panini.
Of course.
It was if I didn't trash Panini, I was a fake 90s collector.
Yep. PMGs is all we have. You guys got 28 parallels, dummies.
Yeah. Yep. All right. From Mitten State Collector, would collecting be more or less fun if card values followed player performance in a linear way? By the way, I don't know how to say linear.
Linear.
We've been over this a million times, but apologies to all the people that I'm going to trigger by the way I say it.
This makes no sense to me, the way you do that. For as smart as a guy as you are, why can't you pronounce the word
How
linear?
do you say it?
Linear.
Linear. Emphasis on the first.
No. You're still saying like linear. You have like a hint of like accent where you're like linear.
Linear.
There you go.
Linear.
Yeah. So we're saying like player progresses through career, they increase the number of all team accolades, they win a championship, their prices keep going up.
Exactly. Even simpler, I think. Like a linear equation is one where if X goes up by 1, Y goes up by 1.
Oh, that's
so if player scores a lot of points, card price goes up. Player scores a lot of points, card price goes up.
Is this like a lack of liquidity? Is that the answer?
A frictionless experience.
Player card stuff is more based on what you are hoping they do in the future versus what they're doing currently linearly.
Yeah.
And it's collectibles. This isn't stocks.
Yeah, and don't you think that if it ever became as predictable as that, people would, try to get ahead of it, and
then it would become unpredictable again.
Yeah.
It's like what you're saying already has factored into all of this.
Right.
There's that theory in stocks, right? That everything is already baked into the price. Everything.
Yeah.
It feels like that. Like you just said, and people are always like, "Oh, just buy in the off season," but then everyone thinks that, and then nobody can do it, and it's actually the reverse.
Right. Exactly. And then I guess like the other thing is, it does work out this way in the longest run. So, people aren't seeking out Wilt Chamberlain's early cards, and people aren't seeking out the Bird Magic Dr. J card if those guys didn't rack up all the accolades and have all the success that they had.
Right.
So it actually does, I think, in the long run, it does work out this way.
Yeah, that's why I love buying right now, at least currently, I love buying these older guys that are like at the end of their career and they're like really struggling or they're switching teams 4 and 5 times. It's just so easy to buy players like that.
So if we connect that back to what we were just talking about, it's sort of this idea that market participants are trying to be 4, 5, 6 steps ahead.
Yeah.
So they were interested in these guys during like years 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then they were baking in these guys having Hall of Fame careers when they were in their first quartile of their career, and now they've already looked down that tunnel. They've already stared down that tunnel, and now they've already backed out and moved on to something else. So like the sweet spot is created when there's no game left to play of looking forward, but the game left to play is to sit back and wait.
Yeah.
And so many people don't want to sit back and wait.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers right now would be just so much fun to collect if he had better rookie cards. Aaron Rodgers, there's probably not any of these people that exist, but Russell Wilson, if you liked him, he just switched teams again, and now he's on the Giants. And they're going to probably draft a rookie quarterback. Like Russell Wilson's on the about as bad as he's bottoming out basically. It can't get any worse.
All right, so that lets me jump into this next question from Cardboard Insights.
Just buy Caitlin Clark in the chat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who is the Rick Guerin of the hobby? Do you get this reference?
No, I don't know who that is.
Okay, so I had to look it up, and here's two quick paragraphs of background. The tale of Rick Guerin. Here's where the story of Rick Guerin comes in. In the 1960s, Rick Guerin was investing alongside Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger Two
He's
bum
probably smarter. Yeah, he's smarter. He's probably a hobbyist.
And Rick was making the same brilliant moves as them. However, Rick took on too much debt in an effort to amplify his returns. When the 1974 bear market hit, Rick got wiped out. Warren Buffett later reflected, Rick was just as smart as us, but he was in a hurry. Buffett and Munger, on the other hand, took the slower, more methodical routes. They didn't try to maximize in the short term, and as a result, they've compounded their wealth over decades. This is the core idea behind strategic mediocrity. It means not worrying about being in the top half of performers every single year, but ensuring that over a longer horizon, 10 or 20 years, you end up in the top 10%. Consistency beats flashy short-term wins.
What's his name? Rick what?
Rick Guerin.
Did you say Michael Saylor or Rick Guerin?
And so the question is, who is the Rick Guerin, the guy taking on too much debt in the short term to try and pump up his returns?
So we're supposed to call out somebody that we think flamed out of the hobby too early? That seems mean.
It does, yeah. Yeah, I think I'll pass on that.
Just say Michael Saylor. It's more fun.
Yeah, Michael Saylor's great.
That dude's over-leveraging his leveraging.
Yeah. All right. I liked the connection there, though.
Yeah, there's some deep stuff in there. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Was that from ChatGPT?
No. Let me give credit. The author was Aaron McMenamin, CFA with BCM Advisors.
All right.
So, okay. Up next, 740 Smith cards. Are auction house all-time highs making collectors numb to high prices? In other words, are they normalizing high prices?
Some of the ones I've seen recently are like highest sale, this player and this card in this grade in this month.
Yeah. They reach sometimes.
Yeah. Is it normalizing all-time highs?
More particularly, is it normalizing high prices?
Well, let me look at the indexes. Do we feel everything's pretty green?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Everything's pretty green, especially year to date. Year to date, Everything is green pretty much.
Yep. It's been a green year on the index tab.
Dude, Pokemon's up 16% year to date. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh's up 25% this month.
This month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the froth monsters are back. That's the takeaway.
The froth monsters are back.
Yeah.
People will get that reference after they listen to Card Ladder Confidential next week.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one component to this question is that auction houses obviously would love to normalize them because the more that a card sells for, the higher buyer's premium they are going to take home. So I think they're trying to. They're incentivized to try to. But and also like just the way comps work, comps are very, very influential in our market, so it has an effect. I don't know. Do you feel that auction houses and the results that they're bringing in they've numbed us to prices and that prices are out of hand?
No, this feels pretty consistent with what I've seen for years.
Yep.
We're just getting more and more questions relating to the sense that the hobby is moving up right now pretty quickly.
Yeah.
In terms of pricing.
Yes. Yep. I would say that we've been in a price ramp up for several months now.
Dude, we're getting more messages about people's values not updating quick enough because they want to refresh and see stuff moving up quick in their collection values.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'll pick on Luca prices for a second because that's a player IPC. So Luka had a...
Luka Doncic?
Yeah.
I've heard of him.
He had his 5th year Prism Nebula, PSA 10. 5th year Prism Nebula. What do you think it sold for?
5th year Prism Nebula PSA 10.
2022-23.
What do I think it sold for? Let's see. Like 15 grand.
81,000.
Oh my god.
That was one of the frothier ones.
That's one that you stopped and turned back and looked again.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a lot. Is that normal?
No.
Or is there any other comps or anything that you can even point to?
Well, how about this?
80,000. That's like a 2013 one of somebody really good.
Right. In December of 2021, which was another very frothy period, his 2020 Prism Nebula sold for 78,000.
Yeah. So the froth is back.
Yeah, I would say the froth is back. And then I can give you like a better apples to apples comparison really quick.
I see one of his blacks sold for 43.
Yeah, so his 2023-24 Prism Black sold for 43 grand. It also sold a year ago. Same exact card. But a year ago it sold for 23 grand.
On eBay, yeah.
On eBay.
I remember.
So yeah. Part of it is marketplace probably. And just like that's probably a factor. But like the card essentially doubling over a year.
Yeah.
I think that and that particular type of card doubling over a year, that's where a lot of the froth is concentrated right now.
Nice job, Chrissy Buckets.
That wasn't Chrissy's. Chrissy's great, but his was the shimmer.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't see the Nebula one. Oh, wait, there it is. It's March 8th.
Yeah, about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Isn't that shocking to see it sell for double the black, or is that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely is. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought basketball still valued the black more than the Nebula.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done any like apples to apples comparisons on that.
This is a cool looking card, though.
Yeah. Very cool.
How much of a premium do you think PSA 10s add to these cards where people claim to not care about it?
A lot, especially in frothy situations.
I do too. I mean, if you knew nothing else about anything, you'd be like, well, that's because that one's a 10 and this one's a 9.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think it adds a lot. It adds a lot for me.
Yeah. Yep. It does. It does. I prefer it to not be a 10 on a 1.
So you can save some money.
Yeah, just because of that. Yeah, I mean, if I already have it, like if I buy raw, I pray that it gets a 10. But
right.
Like, if I can get a discount off of a lower grade on one, because at the end of the day, like it doesn't really matter to me what the grade is on it.
When Brian messaged me that he was ready to sell this, I honestly, I was like agreed to everything before. I don't even remember I was like, I don't know the grade. What's the grade again? He sent me a picture and we'd already agreed. I thought it was a 9, but I was like, it's an 8. Oh, I don't care.
Exactly. Yeah, I honestly, when you showed that card on your mail day, I've seen pictures of it. I never once even looked at what the number grade was.
Yeah, I completely forgot until I checked it last second. Yeah. I don't even know what the grade of my Aaron Donald is. I have to look it up.
I wonder if I don't know the grade of any cards.
Oh, wait, let's play it right now. Actually, I'm going to try to stump you.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
What's your name again?
On in Showcase?
Every time you search someone else's name with them there, you'll have to ask, what's your name again? It always throws them way off. I always do it. It's hilarious. Like if someone's sitting next to you at your computer and they're like, hey, send me a message from your computer and I'll get it later. I'm like, great. What was your name again?
I respect it. A little mind game to try and just really knock me off here.
Okay. It worked. You were like, you mean on the app or? Okay.
I'm starting to panic a little bit because I do think there are some I don't know the grade of.
Okay, 2021. You're not going to get these.
Yep.
Because I'm going to like play total mind games where I'm going to pick ones that I feel you're definitely not going to know. All right,
Yeah, just go straight for the hardest ones.
2021 select. Number 211, Jokic, Black Prism 1 of 1.
2021?
Yeah.
PSA 8.
Damn it.
Yeah. Let's go. 1 for 1.
2015 Excalibur, Black 1 of 1.
Raw.
2019 Courtside, Black.
BGS 9.5.
2020 Optic Nebula.
PSA 9.
Damn it.
One of them
Premier
select ones is going to throw me off, though.
Premier Die Cut 2022.
Okay, this is a good one.
There's so many of these selected ones.
This is a good one. So I know that my 2022s are 2 8s and a 9. And I think the concourse was an 8 and the courtside was an 8. I think the premiere was a 9.
Damn it. Maybe I won't get you. Hey, let's go back to your MJ PC. You don't remember all those stupid cards. Stadium Club, 1 of a kind.
What year?
97.
8.5. BGS 8.5.
98.
I think I have 2 98s in there. I think one's an 8.5 and one's a 9.
Dupes.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well.
That's my shame. My shame.
This is like the game, like, do you know your spouse and everything? You look at you know all the answers.
Yeah. Yeah.
2022 Black Finite, Christian McCaffrey, last one.
Oh, you went to the depths. You went to the deepest depths. God, I know that I graded that myself, and I graded 23 myself. I think one got an 8 and one got a 9, and I want to say 8. PSA 8, 2022.
Nice.
Let's go. Let's go. That was the real pressure cooker, that last one.
2020 Black Finite, Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah, see. Okay, so 2020, I just have to kind of think about this. I have to picture what it looks like. Okay, I'm picturing what it looks like. It's the centering is off.
Yep.
I know the centering is off on this. I still want to say you got a PSA 9.
You didn't even get the right grading company.
Oh my god. Okay, you stumped me. Well, that's a BGS 8. Yeah, there it is.
That looks.
Yeah.
You should get that cross to a PSA 4.
I need to. It actually eats me up when I go through the finites and there's like 2 or 3 BGSs and the rest are PSA. Yeah. And BGS like killed me on the grades too. So
it's nice when they're all the same, like thickness and the slabs of the same kind of card. You just go through them all nice.
Yeah, a stack of finites and those thin PSA slabs is.
I do really like this one. You haven't found the new finite yet?
Nope, dude. I've put the bug in the ear of every possible flipper, dealer, collector that I could think of who trades and nebulas, finites. Like, I know who has the nebula, but it's pricey, whatever, etc. And I'm not doing the nebulas. But nobody has seen or heard of the finite.
Have you tried searching on eBay?
No, I'll try that one next. Wouldn't that be crazy if you just like punched in on eBay and you're just sitting there right now?
Are you excited or annoyed when people send you eBay listings that have been on there for like 6 months and you're like, yeah, I've seen it?
I'll take it. That's where I'm at on those. I'll take it.
That's the right answer. Yeah. You never get angry at those people. You say, thank you, keep it coming.
Yep, exactly. I'll take it. Yeah. Is that what you say? You say keep it coming?
Something like that, or I just like it. Yeah.
Okay.
Or I invoice them $7 for wasting my time.
All right. Do you think anybody would pay that invoice?
No, that'd be cool though. That'd be a way to make money. Just invoice like a bunch of people and just see if anyone pays you.
Just like they send you an eBay link and you're like, oh, what's your PayPal?
Yeah.
And then they punch in their PayPal, but instead of you sending them money, you send them a PayPal invoice.
And they get confused and just do it.
They just do it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, from Roundtree 13 Cards, can you just skip my question and go right to Drake's? All right, I will.
Clever.
From Drake, buckle in.
Oh. You mean take a nap? What?
You made the same noise the same groan a few different times when
Drake listens to this back while he's like taking his dog for a walk tomorrow or something. He just hears me groan about him.
Dude, I've been seeing Drake show up on Twitter. Like, he went to his shop the other day, and like the shop took a pic with him and like uploaded it and shared it and stuff. Like, Drake might be a bigger deal than we realize in certain corners of this hobby. But he just plays it humble. Oh no! I think Josh may have froze. Are you back? Am I back?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I got the wheel of death for a second there.
Yeah, I was just saying that he's probably more known than we are now.
Yeah. Okay. From Drake. On this week's final episode of Auction Talk, Brett and Nick discussed the Paul Skeens debut patch auto card, and they compared it to his Bowman Chrome Super. And they said that a corporate entity like Dick's would desire a debut patch autograph card or an Ohtani 50-50 ball rather than a superfractor, because the average person knows there's only one debut patch autograph, but there are out of 5s, out of 10s, out of 25s of the Bowman Chrome. So it might not seem as special, the Bowman Chrome. However, shiny cards need to be more generally appreciated in the hobby. So my question is, why do you think many collectors in the hobby prefer shiny cards over game-worn patch autographs, while the corporations and investor groups gravitate to signed, game-worn, or used items with provenance or significance?
Because there's more things to push in the marketing and hype. You know, the shiny card is like, it's just the card. Like, you're having to leave it up to the card, whereas the other one is like, oh, he sweated in this or whatever. He touched this with his hands. He signed it. He used a special marker, or he inscribed it, whatever.
It's good. I think that's about right.
Would you rather have the Bowman Super or the debut patch at your local Dick's Sporting Goods?
To me, it's a little bit like, would you rather have the NT Shield autograph or the Black Final?
Right.
And I would rather, I just think the Bowman Super looks like quite a bit cooler.
So the scenario is that I just got to see this thing in person, and while I'm here, let me buy some overpriced shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what was cooked up in the board meetings?
Yeah. Look, I'll tell you this, like, targeting, like, I'm not saying that they did it this way, but if their goal was to, like, target a card collecting audience to, like, get some brand awareness and marketing for Dick's going on, and, like, this is a pretty good demographic to present Dick's to. Because, like, this demographic spends money. It has budgets. So, and, like, did they get $1 million worth of advertising and, like, name branding among a good demographic off of this purchase? Probably.
So they put their dicks on the table.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes, they did. All right. Good question, Drake. Also, just a quick shout out to the end of Auction Talk. It was definitely one of my go-to pieces of hobby content. It was great, and it's too bad that it's over.
That feels like the firing of Taylor Jenkins. Why are we doing this?
Right. There you go. There you go. Okay. 626 Sports Cards says, do you think the true rookie card should be the only one that gets the rookie card logo, while other rookie year cards could get an XRC logo or some other signifier?
This is like what you're talking about, where the base set is the only true rookie, or you're the parallel to the base set.
Yeah, some people would let parallels in, some wouldn't. And you're touching on like one of the problems with this that I would bring up too, which is, well, there's not an overwhelming consensus about what a true rookie card is.
Don't we feel that Panini's put the RC badge on too liberally? They're using it too much.
Yeah, and they really ramped up the liberal use of it recently. So, like for 2018 basketball products, I once kind of went through and saw where they used it, and if memory serves, they only used it on base set cards, but they would use it and on parallels to the base set, but they didn't put the rookie card logo on inserts. So, like in Flawless, I'm pretty sure they put the rookie card on 2018 Flawless Diamond base set card, but they did not put the rookie card logo on any of the patch autographs in Flawless because those are inserts.
Dude, they put it on downtown inserts now.
Yeah, now it's on everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Anything that's like printed from rookie year? Look at that. It's right here.
Yep, now it's on everything. All the inserts, all the parallels. Luca's NT Logo Man autograph rookie year card did not get a rookie card badge.
Wow.
None of those Logo Man autographs from 2018 NT got a rookie card badge.
Let me double check you.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that you say that, like every time I look at that card, I feel like there's something off, and I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's just and also the fact that it's horizontal, but like I always looked at it and thought, man, feels like there's something missing. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
So weird because I feel like it could be right here.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. See, I like what edition says here. You cannot leave the true rookie card designation up to the manufacturers because they will mess it up. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Like, I think they have a nice little binary world where either they put the rookie card logo on or they don't. They can do it as they please. And then like collectors make up their own minds about what they think is a true rookie card and what isn't.
I feel like baseball does this thing where it's like they'll get called up at the end of the year and they'll put rookie cards on that one, and then the next year they'll also say they're a rookie and put the rookie on that year as well. Like trickery like that.
Yeah, well, baseball also is a little more regulated by the Players Association, and they have some stricter rules about what you can put a rookie card badge on and what you can't. And so they that was sort of, I think, the impetus behind the Bowman First, which doesn't take a rookie card badge, because I think they will crank out Bowman Firsts for players who don't technically meet the definition of rookie by the MLB standards, and the hobby is concentrated around the Bowman Firsts. So yeah, there's the Shea Prism.
That's like an error, right?
Yeah, it is an error. Yeah, that's an error. Almost all the rookies got the rookie card logo from 2018 Prism, except Shea didn't get it, and some random guy who was not a rookie, Milos Teodosic or something like that, he did get an RC logo.
Would that bother you?
Yeah, it would. Not a ton, but it would annoy me a tiny bit.
Yeah, it annoys me. Now, if I can't unsee it, I can't unsee what's not there.
Right. Okay. A few more here from What Are We Doing Here? It's been 3 years since the first Mint Collective in Las Vegas. What do you miss the most, and what is your fondest memory?
Just Vegas. Just going. It was a good show. I miss it.
There should be one blockbuster card show in Vegas where, like, we go to the card show for a few hours a day, but then we just hit the craps tables for a few nights.
Number 45. How much do you think this sold for?
What's a great I think that sold for around like 111,000.
I don't know why I ask you this stuff. Yeah, but that's crazy for a 2-color 99. That's just crazy.
Yeah. Yep. That's a strong price.
Especially when he goes down in the second round.
Let's go. Yeah, I mean, we are lining up for that. I look forward to the Lakers Thunder clash.
I mean, he's going to have to get past the Suns first.
The Suns or the Clippers or the Timberwolves. Like, any one of those teams could fall or end up being the 8.
How excited are you going to be when it's Lakers, OKC in the second round? You're just going to, like, scoot. You're going to do that meme where the guy playing the video game leans in. You know what I'm talking about? That's going to be us. He just like, oh, time to watch a little closer.
Yeah. Till then. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to set up this bracket so that Denver and Lakers meet in the conference finals, and then it's just a win-win.
Which one?
Denver versus the Lakers.
In the conference finals, yeah.
Yeah.
This one. That's us when Lakers play OKC.
There it is, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. Okay.
Have you been watching the bracket at all? The college?
NCAA?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I watched like a bit of Flags game Thursday night because it like happened to be on.
Yeah. U of A sucks. Get them.
Yeah. U of A got cooked.
There was games tonight. I didn't even know.
There were some games. Yep.
Clippers with a 6 seed. What are you talking about?
What?
Yeah, because the Warriors lost a couple games and they've won a couple in a row. They passed the Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was thinking the Clippers might be a sneaky. Wow, yeah, they're to the 6th seed, and they're not that far off from being in the 4 and the 5.
Yeah.
So Minnesota is the 8th seed right now. They would give Oklahoma City some problems too. They played them well this year. Houston is just this completely disrespected 2 seed.
They've won 9 of their last 10.
Yeah.
They're like pulling away in the 2 seed.
Yeah. So they would get Golden State in the first round. Oof. I would take Golden State.
People are just like outright picking Golden State in that series.
Yeah, I would.
Ugh. Suns aren't even in the 10th seed anymore. They're going to lose to the team not even trying to win.
Oh, man, that's brutal.
Yeah, they suck.
Maybe Taylor Jenkins can get in there.
How many coaches can we cycle through?
3rd coach in 3 years?
I'm starting to think it's not the coach. People on Twitter and Reddit in the Suns world are like, come on, it's the coach's fault. He's not playing Bobo enough or whatever. And it's like, God, shut up.
Yo, check out my guy IRL Cards in the chat right now. I feel bad because he's got the Rockets logo. Look, you have the old school Rockets logo. I was the biggest Rockets fan in 1993-94 and 1994-95 especially. Like, that was right when I was first getting into basketball. I loved Hakeem. Sorry, no disrespect to the Rockets. He goes, the Rockets hate continues. It does.
How fire is that logo on NBA Jam? The Rockets logo.
Oh, it's the best, yeah.
He's on fire. Rudy Tomjanovich. What a team. And now your love for Kenny Smith continues.
Oh, yeah. He's the best. The Jet.
The guy who paints the hair on his head.
All right. This is a fun question. I think people already know my answer. I wonder how you would.
He picked Golden State, too.
That's called a reverse jinx. See, we weren't born yesterday.
Nice try.
All right. Enjoy Cards IG. wants to know, what are your metrics for measuring a player's greatness?
Oh, why do you want to, you're just like ready to go.
Oh, yeah. Well, this question is so funny to me because I've gone from like 5 or 6 years ago. I was like, I don't know enough to have GOAT debates. I don't have a system. What am I going to do? Like, I watched this guy and he looked pretty good. So, and I just didn't ever want to participate in them at all. But then when I did decide I got interested, I had to build a whole system that I could justify my point of view on.
Yeah, it's like, how much time do you have? That's your answer.
That's exactly.
Because the real answer is points plus rebounds plus assists. Bill's like, I made the cutoff a little bit higher just because I don't want Karl Malone in there. Right.
That's when you know your metric is great, when you arbitrarily adjust it to put in the people you like and exclude the ones you don't.
That's why he likes Tatum's rebounds so much, by the way.
Right. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Ragnar Cards wants to know, is Dick Bid part of the hobby lexicon now?
Like a bid coming from a company?
Yeah.
Oof, God, I hope not.
LSU Tiger 65.
We're going to read an article. It's like, oh, Amazon bought some Mickey Mantle PSA 10, and we're just like, Amazon, like Bezos? No, the company. How? What? How?
Yeah, like it's gonna display in a warehouse, like for morale or something.
I just don't understand how a company owns a card. I don't get it. I guess if they can buy crypto, then what do I know?
Right. Okay. From LSU Tiger Collector 65. What is your favorite Mr. Beast style thumbnail facial expression used by the content creator community? Is it the finger point or the O face or something else?
It's definitely the O face, but they're all pretty good.
Yeah. Do you think that when people they crop out the image, like they set up their camera, they strike this pose, they crop themselves out, they put on, and does it ever do they ever think, this looks kind of silly, but I'm doing this to get views, or do they think like, do I look awesome? Like,
that's about the time I started thinking about jumping over balconies. You think that I always made this joke when like someone is dressed interestingly, like they looked in the mirror that morning and they were like, you know what, this is going to be awesome, and I look so good, and then they went outside with that outfit on. Basically, like every outfit that Russell Westbrook wears, I'm like, you were in the mirror this morning and you thought this is tight. Or Kyle Kuzma or something. He's like, yep, this is it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. WNBA Win would like to would like to know, why haven't we heard any updates on the Dallas Card Show heist?
The one from like a year ago?
Yeah, I guess it has probably been around a year now.
Yeah. I don't know.
I do think that the victim is known. And, I suppose it would be maybe a nuisance. So, I'm not advising to do this, but if you're curious, you might want to start there and ask the dealer who had his card stolen, like, is there any progress? What's going on? It might be a nuisance, or he might appreciate the concern.
Yeah.
But then there's also just the fact that, like, headlines are, there's a tendency for everybody to share negative, nasty, viral headlines, and then there's nobody has any energy to like put the same effort into follow-ups that don't have any zest.
Yeah. Dude, I'm still waiting to find out what happened to Sports Card Therapist.
Yeah.
I'm just over here waiting for the news.
Thought he went on hiatus.
It's been a long hiatus. What if you saw him in like a grocery store? You'd be like, "Hey, man, what happened?"
I don't know what I would say. Or would you just like just kind of shuffled down the other aisle.
Oh, look, my shoes untied. That's a pro move to like see someone you know and then pretend like you didn't see him and just keep looking away. That's a pro move.
Yeah. Well, also there's just you know, it's like you just disappear. You don't even, you know, obviously nobody condones the whole shill bidding thing. That was awful. But you know, you just go away and like nobody knows what happened to you and just cut ties to everybody and you're out. Like if you do that, I wouldn't expect people to be polite, you know, or care if they see you when you act like that.
There's people that have done way less that are still back out in public doing their thing.
Sure. Exactly. Okay.
I meant way more. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I know what you meant. All right. Oh, how many more do I do here? Okay. Our guy Tasty Card Sandwich put a lot of effort into his question this week. I truncated it a little bit for time, but here is the gist of it. So he asked the question last week about like, would you rather get rid of advanced stats or cards?
I remember that one.
And then now here's his follow-up. It has been 1 year since Elon and you removed cards from existence. As a result of your decision, Card Ladder never gets created, but you still have your box plus minus and your QBR. Suddenly, Mark Zuckerberg springs a proposal to you. He will give you the greatest catch-all stat for basketball and football that's ever been invented. You have the power to unleash it, but in exchange, when you watch sports, you no longer see the sports, and you don't get to hear the action or the commentary. You just see advanced stats calculating on a screen. Do you do it?
Oh my gosh.
No.
These questions keep evolving. In like a month, he's going to be like, I've got your family locked in a room, and you have to decide. And man, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, like, no. Isn't it like, what's the argument for yes here?
I'm not sure. He just really wants to corner you into saying, I only care about advanced stats and nothing else matters.
Yeah, but why would I only care about advanced stats?
He's just trying to get you to say it.
Also, I was talking to Ragnar Cards a little bit because, like, you gave a really slick answer. Like last week, you were like, sports.advanced stats would be stupid. And then I was talking to Ragnar about it, like, after the show a little bit. And I was like, what Josh said was like, it might even be more right than he even realizes. Or at least this is my take on what you said. Advanced stats are just using probability and reason to make decisions. And they're just formalized and very carefully thought out and data driven. But advanced stats are just advanced versions of making decisions like, should I shoot this 3/4 court shot or should I dribble down and try and get closer to the hoop? Like that's a very basic advanced stat concept, because it's about the expected value of the shot. If I shoot the ball from 75 feet away when there's 20 seconds on the shot clock, the expected value of that shot is probably like 0.1 points. But if I dribble and get near the hoop, the expected value of that shot might be 1.2 points. So I'm going to use my brain to make decisions based on the expected value of actions. And that's all advanced stats are when you really boil them down. So if you took away advanced stats, you're not just taking away spreadsheets and formulas, you're also taking away the ability to reason about sports using probability. And if you take that away, then you're going to have people indiscriminately launching 80-foot shots because they don't have the ability to reason about whether they should shoot that shot or they should try and get closer to the hoop. And advanced stats are just taking that idea and iterating on it.
Right. Well, If we take away advanced stats, then we're going to take away stats, and then it's just going to be guys running up and down, hitting each other. There's like the stats are what describes what happened.
Yeah, and you want to know what's a pretty important stat? The final score.
That's an advanced stat. Who had more points than the other team?
Right. Exactly.
Someone made that term advanced stat. I don't really.
Yeah.
What is it like? Oh, this time we added 2 numbers. It's advanced. It's not that. Just read it.
Right. And also, like, if other people like advanced stats and you don't, then just don't look at them or whatever. Avert your gaze.
Well, those numbers exist whether you like them or not. They're a description of the outcome of what occurred.
Exactly. Right. It's like they are a number in the world.
I don't like to know that we burn plastic and we've got islands of floating trash, but I can't really do anything about that.
Right.
I just won't Google it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, but like the threat that advanced stats appear to pose to some people, I think that's kind of the confirmation that they're pretty powerful and that they are saying things that are worth like trying to demonize, like invent hypotheticals where like we try to, shame people into not ever thinking beyond the most common sense level. Like, don't you dare try to use and combine numbers and think more deeply about this sport and try to measure it in more ways than just the way that I want you to measure it.
Do you want to know why Barkley and Shaq hate advanced stats? Do you want to know why?
Sure, why?
Yeah, so their dream scenario in their life is that they walk into studio the night of the show and they've done 0 prep work and they just did their influential bullshit the rest of the day and ate McDonald's or whatever, and then they roll into the studio and but so advanced stats pose this problem for them where they have to like figure out what it is and they have to spend time on it in order to speak on it, and so they don't want to do that, so they just bash it instead and say it's stupid.
That's exactly it. That's the threat that it poses to them, is that they might have to put in a little more work.
They asked Shaq who the coach of the Pistons is. He did not know. But he's supposed to like break down the games for me at halftime. He doesn't even know who the coach is.
Right.
Which is like, hey, Charles, maybe if you knew about advanced stats, you would have actually like won a championship. Instead of hoisting fadeaway jumpers from the free throw line.
Yeah. And then like advanced stats are also a threat to certain fans of certain players who don't rank as highly on them as the players think they should, as the fans of that player think they should.
Sure.
But so let's name a more of a neutral example. There's Allen Iverson. So if you're like a big Allen Iverson fan and you don't like the fact that like he doesn't rank as highly on some of these metrics, like use a different metric. Like maybe what you prefer is guys who have
attempted.
Yeah, maybe you're just like a big volume guy, or maybe your preference for what you want to see out of a player is like, I want the guy who had the coolest looking highlight reels and like the most and one-ish crossover in the 2000s. That's my goat, because we all get to choose the metrics that we want to use. So
Iverson is higher up on the PER than I thought.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
do you know where he's at?
Are you looking at the career PER?
Mm-hmm. He's ahead of Kevin Love, Porzingis.
Okay.
He's ahead of Jason Tatum.
So what, he's got like a career PR of maybe like 22 or something?
21. Jason Tatum's 20.
That's the other thing you got to keep in mind too. Like guys like Porzingis and Kevin Love, even these guys are like, Kevin Love is on the back half of his career.
Yeah, of course.
And these active players, like people will point to Karl Anthony Towns and it's like, yeah, but Towns is probably going to have a back half of his career, and that's going to drag down his career PER with every successive game where he's below his average.
Yeah, Chris Paul peaked at like 9, and now he's down to 20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to happen to every active guy, except LeBron, basically.
Well, I need him to retire. He's screwing up his averages lately.
Yeah, and like if you look at Jordan, so Jordan is the all-time career. Like maybe a simpler concept for this is points per game. Jordan is the all-time career points per game leader over Wilt by like less than 1/10 of a point. If he would have played even half of a season more with the Wizards, he wouldn't be first.
Yeah.
He benefits from a smaller back half of his career. That's why like the career points per game stuff, it's like it's missing some context.
Ragnar says LeBron will be lower than Kobe. He's going to have a PER of like 1 for that to happen.
LeBron's going to be out there in a wheelchair before that happens.
He's going to have to be like Tony Snell, just out there getting zeros across the board. He's just going to have to stand there. He's going to be the glitch in the NBA 2K games where they just stand at midcourt with their arms out. Have you seen those videos?
Yeah.
I remember a famous one with Andrew Bynum. I'll find it.
That's amazing.
This is LeBron, so he loses the race.
Yeah. Also, like one of the more interesting things about advanced stats and why like you wouldn't really want just the one that ends all others is they're all like trying to measure something a little bit different. Yeah.
He's just standing at the court.
There you go. What is he doing?
It's like a glitch in the game. It's really famous. It's like a famous internet meme where Andrew Bynum's just at half court with his arms out.
All right. I think we'll probably wrap it up here.
One more.
You want a Mike Pinkerton 50 classic?
Oh, look at the time. Yeah.
All right.
Let's hear what Mike's got.
Here's one from Mike. Should PSA have such a huge value over the other graders?
Oh, man. Probably.
That's just the full answer. Just, oh man, probably.
I feel like the BGS 9.5s are undervalued compared to the PSA 10s.
Do you feel that?
No, I don't. You're supposed to say that right here.
Right. Yeah, there's arbitrage.
Right.
There's arbitrage going on. Isn't this like more of a personal decision?
The price costs the most to grade, so maybe the value should be the most.
That's a factor. But what's the consequence of this question? So let's say the answer is no. PSA should not have such a huge. Okay, so what? So then we're all gonna buy into this idea that the other grading companies should come up, and we're all gonna start paying more, and it's gonna all equalize or something.
I'm not smart enough to answer this question.
Yeah. I mean, if I observed that a certain slab was undervalued or overvalued, I don't know that I don't know. The question perplexes me.
Is HGA still making slabs?
I don't think so.
Ugh. What's this world coming to?
We'll know when the froth is
right.
The froth volcano is fully erupted.
When people start asking about making a new grading company.
Yeah. When those new grading companies start rolling out.
And they've always got the best business proposition. It's always way better than everybody else. We are going to be so transparent that your head's going to spin.
Right. Exactly. It's this kind of like asking should the steak at the fancy steakhouse be $100 and the steak at Chili's be $25?
Have you had a steak at Chili's?
Yes.
You know the answer to that.
Well, it's just like, well, they're both steak.
You can imagine though that some like meat driver delivery guy like drops off the same steak to both places.
Right. Yeah, right. You can totally imagine that. Or like the car example, like, should a BMW really be several multiples of a Honda Accord when like they probably perform about the same, etc. Like, just go with me here, even if they don't. Like, if we assume that they're roughly equivalent over the lifetime of the car, should the BMW be more? Like, well, if you don't think so, then buy the Honda Accord.
Yeah. Name brand, you're saying.
Name brand is part of it, but like, who really knows, right? Like, who really knows how the mind operates there? Like, I think it's pretty complicated, but I also think that there's a reason why, like, whatever market we look at, there's a sorting process, and people want to have like tiers, and they just want it to be that way. And it's like,
Piece is the Wagyu of the hobby. That's a good title. BGS is the Honda Accord.
Yeah.
It's better. It's better because it's better.
Right. And I mean, the bigger point is, like, if you want the Chili's steak, like, do we all have to want it with you?
Right. Why are you telling me your secrets?
Right. Like, if I want to be, if you think I'm stupid for overpaying for the fancy steak at the steakhouse, are you like saving me from myself, or?
Does this look appetizing?
Nah. What's
that white stuff on the top?
Steak isn't supposed to quite be that color. That's the color of a hamburger.
Isn't it from the same animal?
It is, but like, steak's supposed to have that little sizzle. That's more of a dark.
Look at that! Yeah. Look at the ice cream on.
See, that's when you got to just smother that butter like that.
That looks like an ice cream.
Looks like a yeah.
What do you think the over/under before the show started of how many pictures of steaks I would show?
I would have set that at 0.5, and I would have smashed the under.
It would have been minus 40,000.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like what is the fascination with people who want to spend more money for a very similar thing because it's in the fancier steakhouse, or it's got the name brand,
or like buying the black finite just because?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, are one of ones overvalued? Like, it's just cardboard and ink.
It's just a different color.
None of those are perfect analogies, but
do people still go to Chili's?
I've been to Chili's recently.
Is it good?
It's fun.
It's just like food.
Yeah.
What do you think their annual earnings are?
Their annual revenue?
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
I don't know. Billions? I don't know.
Yeah, like $5 billion a year.
$5 billion. It's pretty good. Pretty good. All right.
Always 3 for $10 at lunch is dope. There you go.
Yeah.
See? It's coming from a Rockets fan, so it's good.
Chili's is undervalued.
We should go to Chili's.
Nah. I don't know if there's a Chili's super close.
Dang.
All right. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mike, for the final question. All right, let's pick a title for this show. We have drama bait, unmarketing.
Yep.
Settled boy. Oh, sorry.
What?
Settled by. Like Cello Boy. I would wave that wand. A frictionless experience.
We need that back. Wait, I want friction.
Yeah, no, like our take is we like the friction.
Of all kinds.
Strategic mediocrity. Frothy situations.
Dude, is there a milkshake emoji?
Yeah, I think there is. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Keep it coming.
I have no idea what that is.
Me neither. In a warehouse for morale.
What?
Yeah, in a warehouse for morale. I was speculating why Amazon might buy a card.
Oh yeah.
PSA is the Wagyu of the hobby.
Dude, what if we could get Chili's to buy cards?
They would buy HGA slabs.
No, come on. Dude, if Dick's Sporting Goods is buying expensive cards, Chili's is definitely better.
Yeah. Well, that was a point that Nick made on that Auction Talk episode. He was like, Ken Golden and other auction houses are going to see this and they're going to be like, we can use this to convince other corporations to come in and buy cards as a marketing concept. Whole new market to mine or whatever.
I do still think one of the funniest things is like people randomly DMing like Home Depot's Instagram account being like, dude, come on, listen up. I got a crazy opportunity for you on this, Zach Wilson RPA. And just having them be like, what? Stop messaging me.
You should try that.
Do you think that they got a wire from Dick's?
Yeah.
Who? Where? Which?
What?
Like the company?
Branch?
Yeah.
They're like
the CEO wired them, or their company official account where they aggregate all their monies?
Yeah, it's probably one of the heads of Dick's. Right? So
I don't know. I just don't understand who's the one that like, how when like you buy something with a friend, it's like, oh, I get the kids on weekends or whatever. How does that work? All the guys fight over who gets to hold it the most? There's like 7, how many employees? 500,000 employees? How do they work it out?
Maybe it's like a bonus or something. Like you get to like or like in fantasy, if you win the year and your league has a trophy, you get to take the trophy home for the off season.
Yeah. So what if they're like, hey, the United States bought this card?
The United States, like the government?
Yeah. Why not? They buy
it owns that. Now. It owns stuff like historical documents and stuff, right?
Yes, there you go. They own real estate.
Yep.
You just get a wire from IRS and you're like, whoa, sweet.
The IRS pays you for a change?
Yeah, right.
That how there was like the trade up challenge where like, oh, here's my paperclip that I turned into a penny, that I turned into a junk slab, that I turned into a LeBron logo man.
Yeah.
What if we like up the ante, and instead of the trade up challenge, the challenge was who can sell the shittiest card for the most money to a big corporation?
That's what I'm saying. This is the game. You have to like somehow DM one of these companies and sell them something. That's the game.
And convince them that like it's a marketing write-off or something. But
if we keep this train going of these corporations think it's possible to just start buying up these assets, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's why like Nick was kind of saying like somebody's like Ken Golden's going to go out there and try to convince somebody to like some more corporations to like get into this. Like, look what Dick's just spent $1 million. Like,
dude, what if like Pizza Hut became a Jamar Chase super collector? It's like, I'm gonna buy every RPA that exists.
well, so here's a point that I haven't heard made anywhere.
Or the teams
Granted,
buy them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't heard every piece of content on this, but like, it's not beyond the pale that somebody at Fanatics, like maybe try to convince several companies to buy this card, because if they can create a comp of the first debut patch autograph of over $1 million of like a player like Skeens, like, God, that's going to drive value of this card and perception and so on and so forth. So like, maybe this wasn't just like a random trick up their sleeve. Like, they might use this, if that is the case, they might use this strategy in other ways too.
Dude, I was in a bidding war with Taco Bell over this Black Planet. It was like me and the dog going back and forth.
You and the little
Chihuahua. Yeah. Dude, Wendy's, the actual lady, was bidding against me on the Antonio Brown.
Who would be your big corporation nemesis?
Like Qdoba?
Mine would be Jared from Subway.
Oh, like an individual?
Or like a mascot from a company.
What's your beef with Jared?
I think Jared got in big trouble. I don't remember exactly.
Oh, yeah. He was like not doing the diet. He wasn't actually eating the Subway. He got liposuction or something.
And I think like he did some horrible crimes.
Oh, really? Like he's a bad person?
Yeah. I don't remember exactly.
Like Bill Cosby bad?
I think like the worst of the worst, maybe.
Oh, shit. It's 15 years of prison, bro.
Yeah.
What did he do? Well, let's ask Brock or ChatGPT.
I don't know if you want to infect your algorithm with Jared from Subway content.
Dude, Subway's gonna start bidding on cards if we keep this up.
That's why he's an easy villain.
Yeah, I don't even want to read this. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't remember what it was, but I don't think it was as good.
It's stuff with minors.
Yeah.
Did you see this Jokic shot?
Maybe the blimp against Blimpy. I mean, I would bid against the blimp from Blimpy.
Did you see this Jokic?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
He's just like, it looks like he's not even trying it. He's like, oh crap, I made it.
Yeah. Well, he takes a ton of heaves. So like, it's cool that it goes in, but he's taken like 20 or 25 and he's made 2. Like,
you know how you account for those?
I do. I do, actually.
I learned it from this guy on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, after he makes it, he just like walks to the side.
That was such a stupid heave too, just because
he nails it, man. Just nails it.
He attempts that shot with like 3 seconds left. Like, he could have gotten to half court.
You're seriously questioning him on this now?
Yeah.
I can't believe we didn't get any questions about Giddey making a shot over LeBron. I was waiting for that one. This was like 2 plays after he airballed a layup in front of LeBron.
That left-handed just floater into nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, they do, Ragnar. They actually do. Okay.
You're like, please stop doing that.
Yeah, like, you get it. Okay. Do we have a title?
That's what makes someone cool when they're trying not to be cool.
Yeah. Did you like it? Like, I guess maybe Frothy Situations isn't bad because we can put a milkshake emoji.
Yep, we went from dicks to frothy.
I just feel like Frothy's going to be a decent theme for a little while, too.
Yeah.
You know, because it ain't going away for at least a little while.
You'd love that, wouldn't you?
If the froth just went all away?
Yeah, if you were just covered in the froth.
I prefer not.
I'm gonna go Google the Chili's menu now.
All right. Yeah, you read up on that menu.
I think I'm gonna get some takeout tomorrow.
And then you tell me if the porterhouse steak should really be 4 times.
Dude, that steak at that place is probably like a hockey puck. There's no way.
Yeah, it ain't good.
It's gonna take me like a serrated knife to get through that thing. Like a bread knife.
Lube up your knife with that butter, that ice cream pile.
I'll put some ice cream on. I mean, if you think about it, ice cream and butter are both, pretty similar.
They are.
Just one has more sugar in it.
All right.
We should go live and go over the menu next week.
Do a menu read?
Dude, I would do that.
What's the most overvalued and undervalued items on this menu?
They did reduce their menu recently. They've been shrinking it down.
That's good. The what do they call it? The anxiety of choice.
In-N-Out mastered this.
That's the ultimate restaurant. Is just you don't even choose. There's one item.
Yeah. How many of the burgers do you want? Is basically what I put it.
Exactly. Like we do the thinking for you.
Yeah, that's why I like it. All right, I gotta go.
See you guys. Maybe next week.
Maybe.
CY Card Ladder is the most respected sports card analytics app on the market. We have virtually every card in our system. If the card you are looking for ever sold on one of these platforms, you can find it using Card Ladder's sales history. Easily find recent comps and get a better estimate what your cards are worth. CY Card Ladder is the most trusted and the most reliable sports card analytics app on the market. We know what you want because Card Ladder was created by collectors for collectors. Join the innovators, not the imitators. Card Ladder, constantly innovating.